Have you ever trusted someone deeply, only to feel the sting of betrayal? They say, trust is like a mirror. Once shattered, it can never reflect the same again. We often offer our loyalty and respect to those we believe will never hurt us. Yet life has a way of teaching us this harsh truth. Not everyone deserves a place in our hearts. Think back to a time when you overlooked the subtle signs, broken promises, veiled lies, or even moments when you felt undervalued. You told yourself, they'll change, this is just a phase. But as the cracks widened, disappointment became inevitable, leaving you questioning, did I give my trust to the wrong person? Stoicism reminds us that while we can't control the actions of others, we can choose who we allow into our inner circle. Not all relationships are worth preserving, especially those that rob us of peace, clarity, and self-respect. In today's journey, we'll uncover the 10 types of people who don't deserve your trust or respect. More importantly, you'll learn practical lessons rooted in Stoic philosophy, guiding you to protect your peace and focus on what truly matters. If you've ever felt betrayed, this video is for you. Share this message with someone who needs it, and let us know your story in the comments below. Together, we'll build a community grounded in wisdom, resilience, and self-respect. 1. The flatterer. Have you ever encountered someone whose words seemed wrapped in golden ribbons, but you couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss? Perhaps it was at your workplace, a colleague who showered you with excessive compliments. You're the best at everything, they'd exclaim, even when you knew their words didn't align with reality. At first, it felt good, didn't it? But over time, you noticed their praise lacked depth, sincerity, and truth. This is the hallmark of the flatterer. They are masters of crafting empty admiration to gain favor or manipulate situations to their advantage. Their charm is undeniable, and their words are intoxicating, yet beneath the surface lies a calculated intent. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, once reflected, "It is not what others say or think about you that should concern you, but what you think about yourself." A lesson we must heed when facing flatterers. Their words, however sweet, should never define your worth or influence your decisions. Flatterers thrive on feeding your ego while masking their true motives. They might use phrases like, "You're irreplaceable," or "No one could do this better than you." But ask yourself, are their actions consistent with their words? Imagine this. That same coworker who praised you excessively suddenly asks for your help in completing their tasks or defending their actions. Flattery, then, becomes a tool, a means to manipulate your goodwill or exploit your capabilities. How can you protect yourself? The Stoics teach us to value sincerity over superficial validation. Pay close attention to their consistency. Words without actions are mere illusions. Maintain a grounded sense of self-worth, independent of external praise. When you encounter a flatterer, be polite but discerning, keeping a healthy distance between their words and your heart. True respect is built on honesty, not embellishments. And by recognizing the intentions behind flattery, you guard not only your trust, but also your peace of mind. 2. The judgmental. Have you ever found yourself in a family discussion where differing opinions turned into subtle battles of dominance? It often happens among relatives, where life's journey shapes diverse worldviews. What starts as a conversation about values or decisions can quickly escalate into an unspoken competition to assert who is right. These moments, though common, can leave you feeling unseen and misunderstood. At a family gathering, you share a decision about your career or personal life, one you've thought through carefully and feel proud of. Instead of encouragement, a relative raises an eyebrow and says, "That doesn't seem like a smart choice." Their words cut deeper because they come from someone you care about. But here's the truth. Their judgment often reflects their inner struggles or insecurities, not their worth. Marcus Aurelius taught us, don't waste time worrying about what others think. Trust in yourself and your ability to choose wisely. This timeless Stoic wisdom reminds us that while we cannot control the opinions of others, we can control how we respond. Judgmental remarks lose their power when we choose not to internalize them. Setting boundaries isn't always necessary in these situations. Wisdom often lies in knowing when to step back from the fire of conflict. When faced with judgment, avoid defensiveness. A calm, thoughtful reply, such as, "I see your perspective and I appreciate your concern," "I've thought carefully about this," can disarm tension without compromising your stance. This approach not only preserves your dignity, but also deflects unnecessary negativity. Judgmental individuals often view the world through rigid lenses, struggling to accept perspectives that differ from their own. Their words might sting, but they do not define you. Instead, ground yourself in your values and trust your inner voice above external criticism. Stoicism reminds us to protect our peace by focusing on what lies within our control: our actions, emotions, and choices. Choosing understanding over argument demonstrates both wisdom and strength. Remember, not every conversation needs to end in agreement. Sometimes, the most profound way to honor yourself is to quietly hold your truth, allowing others the space to do the same. In doing so, you safeguard your relationships while protecting your inner harmony. Life is too precious to let judgment derail your path to peace. 3. The gossip monger. It's a delightful feeling to gather with friends on a quiet weekend, exchanging stories and laughter. But have you ever noticed when a seemingly lighthearted conversation takes a darker turn? Perhaps one person begins to share details about someone else's life, details they were never meant to know or repeat. Their words come alive with exaggeration, weaving half-truths into something far removed from reality. This is the nature of the gossip monger. They thrive on the intrigue of spreading stories, often adding layers of fabrication to draw attention to themselves. What starts as idle chatter quickly becomes a web of hearsay, harming reputations and sowing distrust. Epictetus warned us, "Keep silent for the most part, or say only what is necessary." Stoicism teaches us that our words carry weight, shaping not only others' perceptions, but also our own integrity. Engaging with gossip doesn't merely taint those being spoken about, it diminishes the character of those who listen. Imagine this. You're with friends, enjoying a pleasant afternoon. One person starts recounting a story about a colleague, portraying them in a negative light. As the story unfolds, you realize it's based more on speculation than fact. In moments like this, it's easy to get drawn in, nodding along to avoid awkwardness. But what if you gently redirected the conversation, saying, "I'm not sure that's entirely fair. Let's focus on something positive instead." By stepping away from gossip, you embody the Stoic virtue of discretion. You protect not only the subject of the story, but also your own peace of mind. The Stoics believed that our focus should remain on actions within our control, building trust, fostering respect, and preserving harmony in our relationships. When faced with a gossip monger, remember, their words often reveal more about their own insecurities than the person they speak of. Choose to be a voice of kindness and reason, standing firm in your values. By doing so, you create a space where integrity flourishes, untouched by the shadows of idle talk. 4. The envious. Envy is a silent thief, lurking in the shadows of success. It often appears in the faces of those who seem to celebrate your achievements, but harbor quiet resentment beneath their smiles. Have you ever noticed how certain people only show up when you're at your best, when you've earned a promotion, achieved a milestone, or received recognition? Yet their words, though wrapped in politeness, carry a subtle undertone of bitterness. The envious rarely reveal their true feelings openly. Instead, they might give backhanded compliments. "It's great you got that job, though I'm not sure I'd want the stress." Or they dismiss your success with comments like, "You're lucky, not everyone gets such chances." Their behavior often leaves you questioning the sincerity of their support. Seneca reminds us, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Envious individuals are often trapped in their inner turmoil, constantly comparing their lives to others. Their inability to find contentment within themselves drives their resentment, not their success. Imagine this. You're sharing the news of a major accomplishment with a close acquaintance. Instead of genuine happiness, they quickly shift the focus to their own struggles, as if your success is a reflection of their inadequacy. In such moments, it's essential to remember that their reaction stems from their personal battles, not their worth. Stoicism teaches us to remain grounded in our achievements, valuing our own journey without seeking external validation. When facing envy, avoid confrontation. Instead, protect your energy by keeping details of your successes within a trusted circle. Celebrate your wins, but with grace and humility, knowing they are the fruits of your hard work. Above all, don't let envy diminish your spirit. As the Stoics remind us, your worth is defined by your actions and character, not the opinions of others. By recognizing envy for what it is, a reflection of another's struggles, you free yourself from its weight and walk forward with confidence and peace. 5. The manipulator. Manipulators are skilled architects of influence, carefully constructing situations to bend others to their will. They often disguise their intentions with charm or vulnerability, making their motives difficult to detect until it's too late. Their talent lies not only in what they say, but also in how they make you feel, obligated, guilty, or responsible for their well-being. Imagine this. You have a coworker who frequently comes to you for help, always framing their requests as emergencies. They use phrases like, "You're the only one I can rely on," or "If you don't help, I'm going to be in big trouble." At first, their reliance feels like flattery, but soon you notice a pattern. They never reciprocate, never acknowledge your sacrifices, and always seem to benefit disproportionately from your efforts. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Manipulators rob us of this privilege, filling our days with unnecessary burdens and emotional strain. The Stoics urge us to reclaim our time and focus on what truly matters. Manipulators often employ tactics like guilt-tripping, exaggerating their struggles, or creating crises that demand your immediate attention. They prey on empathy, knowing you're more likely to prioritize their needs over your own. But their reliance is rarely genuine, it's calculated. To counteract a manipulator's influence, set firm boundaries. When they ask for help, pause and evaluate the situation. Does their request align with your priorities, or does it feel like an intrusion? Respond with clarity, such as, "I can't help with that right now, but I hope you find a solution." This shifts the responsibility back to them. Recognizing manipulation is not about confrontation, but about self-preservation. By understanding their patterns, you can disengage without guilt. The Stoics teach us to focus on our actions and reactions, not the behavior of others. This wisdom allows us to remain steady, even when others attempt to destabilize us. Trust is a gift that should never be taken lightly. Protect it by choosing relationships that reflect mutual respect and sincerity. In doing so, you preserve your peace and uphold the values that lead to a fulfilling life. 6. The narcissist. Narcissists are the sun in their universe, expecting everything and everyone to revolve around them. They draw people in with their charisma and grandiosity, but their relationships are often hollow, lacking the depth of true reciprocity. At their core, narcissists are driven by an insatiable need for admiration and control, which often leaves those around them feeling invisible. Consider this scenario. A friend constantly seeks your attention, frequently sharing their successes and frustrations. At first, you're happy to support them, but over time, you notice they rarely ask about your life. When you do share, they quickly steer the conversation back to themselves. Their focus isn't on connection, it's on validation. Epictetus reminds us, what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about these things. This wisdom helps us understand that a narcissist's behavior stems from their own insecurities. Their need to dominate conversations or dismiss others' experiences reflects their inner void, not their worth. Narcissists thrive in relationships where their needs are prioritized. They may use compliments to draw you in, then subtly shift dynamics to ensure their importance remains unquestioned. Their lack of empathy often leaves you feeling unheard or undervalued. To navigate relationships with narcissists, maintain emotional boundaries. Acknowledge their perspective without sacrificing your own. For instance, when they dominate conversations, you might say, "I appreciate your thoughts, but I'd like to share something important too." The Stoics teach us the importance of focusing on our inner strength and not seeking validation from external sources. When dealing with narcissists, this principle is crucial. Their inability to give genuine support doesn't reflect your value, but their limitations. Over time, evaluate the role they play in your life. Are they contributing to your growth, or are they draining your energy? Prioritize relationships where mutual respect and care are present. True connection is built on balance and understanding. By recognizing narcissistic behavior, you empower yourself to choose relationships that nurture your well-being. Protect your peace by aligning your actions with Stoic principles, ensuring your relationships enrich rather than diminish your life. 7. The fair-weather friend. Fair-weather friends are companions of convenience. They show up during your moments of triumph, eager to share in the celebration, but vanish when challenges arise. Their loyalty is fleeting, tied to circumstances rather than genuine connection. While their presence can feel warm and supportive during good times, their absence during hardships reveals the fragility of the relationship. Picture this: you receive a promotion at work, and a friend is the first to congratulate you, showering you with compliments and praise. But a few months later, when you face a personal crisis and reach out for support, they respond with excuses or silence. Their unwillingness to stand by you in difficult times highlights the conditional nature of their friendship. Seneca observed, "A friend is someone who helps you carry your burden, not one who adds to it." This Stoic perspective reminds us that true friendship is tested in adversity. Fair-weather friends often shy away from discomfort, avoiding situations that require empathy or effort. These individuals may not be malicious but are limited by their inability to engage deeply. They thrive on the surface, unwilling to wade into the complexities of genuine connection. Recognizing this can help you manage your expectations and protect yourself from disappointment. When dealing with fair-weather friends, approach the relationship with clarity. Enjoy their company during good times, but don't rely on them for emotional support. Instead, build a circle of relationships with those who demonstrate consistency and care in all seasons of life. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, including the relationships we nurture. By valuing depth over quantity, you create a support system that reflects the principles of trust and reciprocity. Life's journey is filled with ups and downs. The people who walk beside you during both are the ones who truly deserve your trust and respect. Recognize the fair-weather friend for who they are without bitterness, and invest your energy in connections that stand the test of time. By doing so, you align your relationships with Stoic wisdom, ensuring they contribute to your peace and growth. 8. The habitual liar. What happens when the truth becomes a stranger in a relationship? Imagine a friend who constantly obscures reality with falsehoods, no matter how trivial or significant the situation. At first, their lies might seem harmless, a forgotten detail here, an exaggerated story there. But over time, the web of deceit grows, and trust begins to erode. A habitual liar doesn't simply mislead. They shape an alternate reality, one where their convenience comes before honesty. These individuals often justify their lies as necessary or harmless, but their actions betray a lack of respect for others. They manipulate the truth to serve their needs, leaving those around them questioning every word. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This wisdom reminds us that truth, even when uncomfortable, holds far greater value than the fleeting comfort of deception. Honesty anchors relationships, while lies destabilize them. Consider this scenario. You confront a friend about a commitment they didn't keep. Instead of admitting their oversight, they fabricate an elaborate excuse. Their words feel hollow, and their evasion only deepens your disappointment. Such patterns reveal the deeper harm of habitual lying. It diminishes the connection that trust creates. When dealing with a habitual liar, the Stoic approach is to focus on what you can control. You cannot force honesty, but you can choose to maintain your integrity. Be straightforward in your expectations and observe their behavior closely. If their lies persist, it may be necessary to limit the depth of your interactions. Stoicism encourages us to prioritize relationships that align with our values. Seek connections where truth is a shared principle, not an afterthought. Recognize that walking away from dishonesty is not weakness. It is strength rooted in self-respect. Ultimately, lies fracture the foundation of any bond. By distancing yourself from deceit and fostering connections built on honesty, you protect your peace and affirm your worth. Let the clarity of truth illuminate your path, untouched by the shadows of dishonesty. 9. The perpetual critic. This is someone who always finds fault, regardless of the situation or effort put forth. They're the kind of person who, instead of offering encouragement, uses every opportunity to point out what you could have done better, or worse, what they would have done differently. Their words, though cloaked in observation, often sting deeper than they seem to realize. Have you ever shared an idea or accomplishment with someone, only to be met with a dismissive remark like, "That's good, but it could have been better"? Instead of celebrating your progress, their focus is on what they believe you lack. Over time, such negativity begins to chip away at your confidence and joy. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Stoicism teaches us to concentrate on what we can control: our actions, responses, and growth. Engaging with constant criticism often diverts our energy from what truly matters: our own journey of improvement. Critics like this often project their insecurities onto others, using criticism as a shield for their own fears or perceived inadequacies. Recognizing this helps you respond with compassion rather than frustration. When faced with their remarks, pause and reflect. Is their feedback constructive or simply a reflection of their own struggles? Instead of engaging in conflict, let their negativity pass by like a breeze. Politely acknowledge their perspective, but remain grounded in your self-awareness. A response like, "Thank you for your input, I'll consider it," can diffuse tension while keeping you in control of your emotions. Remember, not all criticism is harmful, but when it becomes relentless and destructive, it's a sign to set boundaries. Surround yourself with those who inspire, support, and encourage growth, rather than those who focus solely on tearing others down. True progress lies in seeking balance, valuing constructive feedback while shielding yourself from unnecessary negativity. By understanding the perpetual critic and choosing how to engage with them, you protect your peace and continue your path with resilience and clarity. 10. The victim. The final type of person I want to address is the perpetual victim, those who frame every situation as though life has singled them out for misfortune. These individuals carry an air of helplessness, constantly pointing to external circumstances or others' actions as the source of their struggles. While sympathy is a natural response, repeated exposure to this mindset can become emotionally exhausting. Epictetus wisely observed, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." The Stoics believe that even in adversity, we hold the power to shape our response. However, the victim relinquishes this power, choosing instead to dwell on perceived injustices. By doing so, they avoid taking accountability, portraying themselves as powerless and placing the burden of change on others. Picture this. You have a friend who always seems to find themselves at the center of crises. When you suggest practical solutions or offer your support, they respond with, "You just don't understand how hard it is for me." No matter the issue, their role as the victim remains unchanged, and the cycle of complaints continues. Their narrative, though compelling at first, begins to weigh heavily on your time, energy, and peace of mind. This behavior often masks a deeper fear of failure or rejection. By refusing to face their own role in their challenges, the victim avoids discomfort, but also forfeits growth. While it's important to approach such individuals with compassion, Stoicism teaches us to protect our peace by discerning when our efforts are unhelpful or even enabling. Engaging with a victim requires a delicate balance. Offer empathy, but don't allow their narrative to dominate your interactions. When their complaints arise, gently redirect the conversation with responses like, "I hear your frustration. What steps do you think we could take to improve the situation?" This shifts the focus from helplessness to action, encouraging them to regain control. Over time, if they resist change and continue to drain your energy, it may become necessary to limit the depth of your involvement. Protecting your well-being doesn't mean abandoning kindness. It means applying it wisely and in alignment with your own values. True compassion, as the Stoics teach, involves guiding others toward self-responsibility while safeguarding your serenity. Recognize when to help, when to step back, and prioritize relationships that uplift rather than weigh you down. In doing so, you affirm both your strength and your capacity for empathy. Life is a mosaic of connections, and the people we choose to surround ourselves with profoundly shape our journey. Today, we've uncovered 10 types of individuals who, while seemingly harmless, can disrupt your peace, diminish your trust, and hinder your personal growth. From the manipulator to the perpetual critic, each of these personas offers lessons in discernment, self-control, and resilience. The key takeaway is clear. Your energy is precious, and your trust is a treasure. Recognizing these individuals isn't about judgment, it's about wisdom. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By understanding these behaviors and their impact, you gain the clarity to set boundaries and prioritize relationships that nourish your soul. Living a life of authenticity and inner peace begins with identifying and gently stepping away from toxic dynamics. It's not about confrontation, but about cultivating a space where respect, kindness, and mutual growth thrive. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control: our reactions, our choices, and our relationships. Now, it's your turn. Have you encountered any of these individuals? How did you navigate the challenges they brought into your life? Share your stories in the comments below. Your experiences may help others recognize and address similar situations. Remember, life is too short to be spent in the shadow of negativity. Choose wisely, live authentically, and protect your peace.